So how many people do we have on Zoom today? Please join me in reading in unison our All Souls Covenant, which you will find in your order of worship. But first, I invite you to take a deep breath. Settle in. Let it out. Look at the people around you. I invite you to do kind of like a 360 as much as you can, sitting in a pew, and slowly take in everybody who is around you. Look at their eyes. Look at their smiles. And make an arc from one end to the other. Yeah. Yeah. These are the people with whom you read this covenant. These are the people to whom you are covenanting with. So now, filled with the joy of this community, let us say in covenant, in this house we covenant with one another to build our connections on a foundation of love, hope, and faith, to accept responsibility for our individual acts and work together to promote equality, justice, and peace, to stand on the side of love, embracing the liberation of the oppressed, championing all movements to end discrimination, to communicate with kindness and support, and to serve with compassion and commitment, to listen respectfully with an open mind and value our diversity as a source of our communal strength, to learn together and grow together, generously sharing our time, talents, and to celebrate the joys of discovery, embracing the fullest measure of our humanity from the wonder of youth to the wisdom of age, to openly share our laughter and our tears, showing reverence for the divine than all that is. I invite now Kay Judd, Chair of the Membership Committee, and Rob Peck, President of the Board of Trustees, to come forward to assist me in our new member recognition ceremony. Membership is a process. Though there are organizational and institutional needs to define membership cleanly and precisely, the process of membership is a gradual progression from lesser to greater commitment, which neither begins nor ends at the point of formal joining. Inevitably in our lives, we commit ourselves to something, whether worthy or not. The direction and intensity of our loyalties give shape and meaning to our lives. Loyalties, commitments, covenants, the promises that we make to one another. These are the things that relate to the deepest meaning of membership. They tell us what we belong to, and by doing that, they also tell us who we are. This morning, I invite those among us who have shown a commitment to this congregation and have an interest in becoming a member to please come forward and bring the insert in your order of service with you. All right. Come on up. And if you would, wow, look at this wonderful group of people. So slide over so people can see you. And if you would, please state your name and approximately when you started coming to All Souls.
Louise Ward, and it was probably 3 years ago, I think.
Cassie Walker. I was a member back in the 90s, but left the church. And I came back last year, I think in March.
Jane Mezoff. I started coming when the church year started in September.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Tilton. This is my 4th time in a row back. I did attend some in 2015 when I first moved back to the area.
Taylor Ortiz. I've been here since right before the summer break last year.
By bringing yourself forward, you bring to this community your greatest gift. We invite you to accept the challenges of responsible freedom, being both truthful to yourselves and caring for others. We invite you to share fully in our community, our mission, our vision, and as you need our caring companionship, so do we need your courage, your talents, your aspirations, and your creativity. New members, I invite you to now to recite in unison the words printed in the insert in your order of service. Will all members of the All Souls Church Unitarian Universalist of Greenfield please recite in unison the words that are printed in the insert in your order of service to our new members. We welcome you as once we were welcomed ourselves. We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas and your vision, in times when it is easy and in times when it is difficult. We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out and encourage to us, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return, we ask that you recognize our humanity. We will not always live up to our ideals, and we will fall short. We invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully realize the spirit of love. We welcome you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey.
To which I say, Amen. Our bylaws state that any person 16 years of age or older, yes, I think you all qualify, may become a member of the church by signing the church's membership book, signifying that they understand, are in sympathy with the purposes and programs of the church and its bylaws. As members of All Souls Church Unitarian Universalist Greenfield, we covenant to unite as a community committed to the principles of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and to be able to turn the page, literally and figuratively. To support each other as we translate our beliefs into actions in our daily lives. An opportunity to make our deeds match our creeds. We define as our mission to welcome and reach out to all who seek fellowship in our liberal religious tradition, to nurture the spiritual well-being of our children and ourselves, to seek to transcend spiritual and or theological differences with the intent to nourish and enrich each other in a common spiritual quest, and to provide information and opportunities for members of All Souls and others to act upon issues of injustice and inequity. Do you support the purpose and programs of this church? If so, say, I do. I hereby declare you married to, no, sorry.
This works, right? Hearing that you support the purpose of this church and recognizing that you have met all the criteria for membership, I invite you to sign our membership book, and we'll do it one at a time. Louise, you'll come, raise your hand, and then sign. So I just want to point out, it's very interesting that just above that is me 2 years ago. I signed 2 years ago, and then they have signed today. So congratulations and welcome to our church community. We want to make this a covenantal experience for all of us. I appreciate it so much. And so we have a little gift for you today. As a very big thank you for taking this in your life and bring it to me. And you may absolutely very good.
Now, let's please give a round of applause for those
You may return to your seat.
Yay!
Oh, so bold. Why did they get presents?
That is special.
I joined the church. I go. I'm trying to get out.
Every week in our church, we take up an offering, which gives us an opportunity to exercise the generosity of spirit that supports all souls and our ministries. If you are visiting today, you are our guest. So feel free to let the plate pass. We see this as an act of giving, of growing more generous in our hearts and in our actions, as essential to our spiritual well-being.
Okay, so this song is pretty easy to follow along with, at least the chorus is, my roots go down, down into the earth, my roots go down, down into the earth, my roots go down, down into the earth, my roots go down. So we chose the song so that during the chorus and even during the verses, which are the same melody, you can join in as much as you want. Welcome. So we'll start from the top. 1, 2, and my roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am a willow bending in the wind. I am a willow bending in the wind. I am a willow bending in the wind. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am a waterfall skipping home. I am a waterfall skipping home. I am a waterfall skipping home. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am a mountain reaching for the sun. I am a mountain reaching for the sun. I am a mountain reaching for the sun. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. One more time. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. Sarah Purtle.
Individually and together, we are building a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. Each one of you, by your commitment of time, talent, and treasure, helps make that grand vision real. Our reading this morning is entitled Step Zero by Gretchen Haley, Reverend Gretchen Haley. If you had a chance to start again, to make your life from scratch, to decide what sort of person you would be, who you would love, and how you would spend the content of your days, your hours, what songs would you sing to yourself or with others? What prayers would you let fall from your lips, urgently and with praise, with mercy or hope? What blessings would you name and share with strangers and friends? If you could now take that first step, what journey would you begin? Across deserts or mountains? Or would you take to the sky, which, despite the bitter cold, is still vast and filled with light? What work would you take? What mischief would you make with boldness and bravery? What failures would you embrace? And what would you release? And where in the end would you return and call home? In this new day, on the brink of a new season, no magic wishing or wondering is required. For such a chance is always available, as with the in and the out of your breath, to begin now, to live like you mean it, to see with new eyes the life that is already and always available, to respond to this gift with wonder and gratitude, to join in this partnership, to tend this flame, even when it breaks your heart, to keep showing up, to go with courage into this dawning day together. Now, I have had the honor and privilege to lead 39 memorial services as a UU minister. 39. And I cherish every one of them. Now, you might think that's a lot of death. Why would I be appreciative of that? Well, I love memorial services not because someone has died, but because of the way that we UUs celebrate life. We hear stories about the deceased at memorial services, and they're told by family and friends with laughter and tears. Before long, the central essence of the person emerges. And when that happens, something very special occurs in the room. It's as though the separate pieces of the departed spirit that lives in our hearts come together so that we can bid a proper farewell to our dearly departed. I remember a memorial service once that I led for a 93-year-old person. Several family members took turns recounting vivid moments of connection with their dearly departed. Each one described a different aspect of her life, different ways that she expressed her love for others, her independence, her hospitality, her thriftiness, her joy at being at the river with her family, her red convertible Mustang with white upholstery. I looked around the room and I could see people totally engrossed in all those stories, finding comfort. I realized that we were not just celebrating her life, we were also celebrating her family and close circle of friends, and how everyone shaped everyone else's destiny. I think I love memorial services because it is a celebration of the mutuality between people. Tears and laughter are evidence of how we humans touch one another through our connections. The communities we belong to affect us in much the same way. We make connections by the ways we touch each other, emotionally and spiritually, by our stories and our collective hopes and dreams. We make connections by our mutual sharing, our gifts and talents, our support for one another, and by our resources that we freely give out of concern for the well-being of everyone. As I read earlier when our new members were up here, the direction and intensity of our loyalties give shape to the promises that we make one another. Loyalties, commitments, covenants, the promises we make to one another, these are the things that relate to the deepest meanings of membership. They tell us what we belong to, and then by doing that, they also tell us who we are. You see, we are born or married into families, but we choose our communities. The ones that feed us spiritually are the ones that empower us, enable us to be who we are honestly, while we are trying to figure that out, what exactly that is on any given moment. No one in a community is static. We are changed by each other positively and, of course, sometimes negatively. But even in negative impacts can be teaching moments for growth. In community, we are like molecules bouncing off each other in a network of mutuality. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Now, he was talking about injustice. He went on to say, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Because justice is about how we treat each other and how we share the abundance of the things in life that sustain us. His idea of a network of mutuality is captured by our UU faith's deeply spiritual metaphor in our seventh principle, an interdependent web of life, of all existence, of which we are a part. The fact that we had to include those last few words, of which we are a part, is a testament of how easy it is to feel separated from the oneness of life, and how important it is to be reminded that we are never alone. The prophet Amos in the Hebrew scripture once asked, "Can two people walk together unless they are agreed?" I'll say that again. Can two people walk together unless they are agreed? That's an intriguing question. It is a question that he included in a series of rhetorical questions. Does a lion roar when it has no prey? Does a bird fall into a snare when there is no trap? Is a trumpet blown into a city and the people are not afraid? Well, I interpret his questions to mean that every effect has a cause. Things don't happen in a vacuum. For two to walk together, they must first have a purpose for doing so. Perhaps not to be alone. Perhaps due to mutual affection and attraction. Perhaps to learn from each other. And from a religious perspective, do we need to have the same beliefs to walk together? How much disagreement can be tolerated? This is an important question for liberal religious. As UUs, we are fiercely independent. We are called a liberal religion precisely because we are free to make our own choices about our beliefs and the theology that works for us, about what is important in our personal spiritual development, even the religious language that we reject or accept. And yet, there is one defining characteristic, or one of our defining characteristics as UUs, is our acceptance of diversity. We reject unifying creeds or central beliefs. We are considered a big tent religion that accepts theological differences. We recognize many ways to live a spiritual, fulfilling life. We feel that same universal religious impulse for ritual, but we have many ways to express it. Take, for instance, the different styles of worship that you may see in a UU church on any given Sunday. You might even see some of these styles in one service, like the prophetic style, which are messages on social justice and compassion, or communal, like today, stories that bring us together and help us heal from our traumas, spiritual, rituals that remind us that we are part of something greater than our individual selves. That's what our new member recognition ceremony is all about. And of course, as UUs, we love our intellectual style of worship, rational discourse that energizes our minds. It's good to mix this up from any given Sunday, to speak to the different needs of a diverse congregation or the diverse parts of our own self. So, no, it is possible to walk in religious fellowship despite theological differences. Have you ever heard someone say that UUs can believe whatever they want? Have you ever heard that? It's meant to be dismissive, as if we have no convictions. But you know what? Ultimately, that statement applies to everyone, no matter what our religion is, because we believe in what we want to believe for many reasons. Sometimes it's out of fear, sometimes tradition, or maybe cultural influence. There's numerous reasons why someone believes anything. And as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, we believe in things, no matter what. So you better be careful what you believe in. But of course, as UUs, we have our convictions, and we have collective beliefs. We believe that love in all its forms is central to life. We believe in the inherent worthiness of all beings, even when it is hard to believe that. We accept that there are many ways to experience awe and mysteries that we cannot explain. And as the hymn, the fourth hymn, verse of that hymn says, we believe that to question is truly an answer. For UUs, acceptance does not equal agreement, and we don't accept all behaviors. There are boundaries even to our religion, because, well, no religion can encompass the whole range of theological options, eventually start contradicting one another. So maybe, yes, there needs to be some agreement to walk together. Our ability to choose is our agreement. We choose whether to be here on Sundays for communal worship. No other person or no deity commands us to do so. We can come to church when and if we want. And here's the rub. Freedom is not separation. Our mere presence here is a gift. We are giving something just by being here. We have no idea how our smile, our hello, our handshake, or our energy is received by someone else. Even if we don't say anything at all and we sit by ourselves, we are part of the network of mutuality in this room right now, just by being here. And that even extends to the people who are not here. Those who came before us, our ancestors of this congregation. Future generations who will inherit this church. Or those that maybe aren't here now, but they'll come next week or the week after that. This network of mutuality extends to the greater community of Greenfield outside of these walls. To those that interact with us by our actions and our ministries, like the unhoused and the food insecure community, or our neighbors along Main Street, or other fellow churches and synagogues in Greenfield. And heck, we could extend that network of mutuality and interdependence outward until it encompasses the whole planet and the universe. That's what King meant when he said, we are caught in a network of mutuality tied in a single garment of destiny. No matter what we do, our presence leaves ripples. And conversely, everything happening around us touches us in one way or another, even if we can't perceive it consciously. None of us are cut off from the network. Although there may be times when you feel alone, feeling like a stranger in a random universe, isolation is only in our minds. We are always part of a greater whole, held together by a vast, invisible connection. A connection that led you here today to sing, to join the church, to welcome the new members, and to share stories with others. A connection that holds families together and heals our grief when a loved one dies. A connection that holds all communities like this one together, despite our differences, and freedom to choose what we want to believe. So whether your word for that unifying wholeness, that connection, is God, or network of mutuality, or simply love with a capital L, whatever affects one of us directly affects all of us, no matter what we call it. If there is trauma within one of us, there is a trauma affecting all of us. If there is joy within one of us, there is joy within all of us. And that interconnection, that interdependence, is the essence of community. This church, All Souls Unitarian Universalist of Greenfield, is made up from all those connections, past, present, and future, by all the souls that have traveled and will travel through here on their life journeys. As a community, we are ever changing, morphing and transforming with every new person who walks through these doors. As a community, we are much greater than any one of us, and yet we are a reflection of all of us. We are the beneficiaries and the benefactors of the love that holds this community together. In this moment, we get to choose collectively the impact that we will leave behind and the ripples that we will send out into the universe. As we grow spiritually, emotionally, and materially, so grows the community. What we give and what we take weaves the garment of this community's destiny, never knowing what the future will hold. How we walk together is what really counts. Our beautiful covenant that we recited together after looking at each other in our eyes and in our smiles, that gives us the space to suspend judgment and to hear each other's stories. And as we penetrate our companionship deeper than beliefs, we find common humanity. That's why we are here. To grow together spiritually, to care for one another, to weave our collective garment of destiny with service as our guide and with love at its core. Que así sea. May it be so. Amen. And the congregation says, Amen.
All women.
All women. Please rise in body and or spirit as you are able to sing hymn number 1017, 1017 in the teal hymnal this time, Building a New Way. Peace and freedom.